In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
We follow this evening the way of Christ to Calvary, the way to gain our reconciliation with the Father, the great act of selfless love, the greatest single act of love that ever was.
The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Pilate has the authority to execute Jesus or to set him free. Unable to find evidence against him, he nevertheless sentences Jesus to death and then publicly washes his hands of the whole business.
Questions to ponder. Have I condemned others to suffering, alienation, or even death by my indifference or anger? Even though I believe people to be innocent, do I join the crowd to condemn them? Do I try to wash my hands of the consequences of my decisions, making excuses, pretending that it isn't really my fault? Do I try to absolve myself and explain away my guilt rather than throwing myself on God's mercy? For the times that I have failed, Lord, have mercy.
The second station, Jesus takes up his cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Knowing what is in store for him, Jesus has to carry the instrument of his own suffering, torture, and death. Throughout his whole life, he embraced the pain and limitations of being human. Now, for our sakes, he takes to himself the final trial of death on a cross. Do I accept the burdens, crosses, responsibilities of my life? Or do I find little or sometimes bigger ways to get around them? Am I really willing to bear the cross of just being human, of always being dependent upon my Creator? Do I thank God for what I have, or do I grumble about what I lack? Am I a good steward of creation, careful to protect the environment? For my lack of caring, Lord, have mercy. Lord, have mercy. In the third station, Jesus falls for the first time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Under the weight of the cross, Jesus stumbles and falls hard to the ground. Despite the pain and growing weariness, he gets up to continue on his way.
Do I get so discouraged by my failures that I want to give up? Do I try to force myself to be perfect and then hide my mistakes from others? Have I forgotten that failure is an inevitable part of my life? Am I willing to pray, to ask God for the courage I need to get up and try again? For the times I have slipped up, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother Mary.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
As their eyes meet, Jesus sees the anguish of Mary's heart. He does not turn away, even though he cannot take away her pain, even though his suffering is causing her pain. Instead, he momentarily forgets his suffering in his great compassion for her.
Am I willing to face my family, friends, co-workers in their difficult times? Have I offered support to others, or have I shielded myself from suffering around me? Do I cherish my parents or children, giving them respect, carrying out my responsibilities towards them? For the times I have turned away, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. The fifth station, Simon is forced to carry the cross of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Humiliated and physically exhausted, Jesus accepts Simon's help.
Am I willing to accept the assistance of others with humility and gratitude? Or do I resent the offer of help? When I see someone in need, do I reach out to them or ignore their plight? Am I careful to offer help without acting superior? For the times my pride got in the way, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. The sixth station, Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Dripping with sweat, spittle, and blood, the face of Jesus knows and shows the strain of his ordeal. Although her gesture did not rescue him from his predicament, Veronica's kindness brings him a moment of relief.
Am I willing to do what I can to ease someone else's sufferings? Or will I give up if I cannot fix everything for them? Do I try in small ways each day to be thoughtful of others? Or have I been wrapped up lately in my own concerns? For my self-centeredness, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. The seventh station, Jesus falls a second time. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Although Simon helps him and Veronica has just wiped his face, Jesus is overcome and stumbles again.
Have I taken good care of my own health? Do I treasure my body and others' bodies as gifts from God? Am I careful to avoid those places and circumstances where I am tempted to repeat particular sins? For my cooperation with evil, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
The eighth station, Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you. Jesus encounters a group of ritual mourners and bluntly tells them, "Weep not for me, but for yourselves and for your children."
Am I willing to tell the truth whenever necessary, even though it may hurt? Have my prayers and religious observances been genuine and not just for show? For my insincerity, Lord, have mercy.
The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross we have redeemed the world.
The third fall, suffering on top of suffering. Again, the pain becomes unbearable, and Jesus collapses.
Has the presence of evil in the world led me to become cynical? Do I make fun of others and their values? Do I take my own faith for granted? Have I given regular attention to the praise and worship of God? For my lack of faithfulness, Lord, have mercy.
Have mercy. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped of his clothing. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
As horrible as it is to imagine, Jesus' clothes stick to his open wounds. When they tear off his garments, knives of pain shoot through his body.
Do I cling to my possessions, career, friends, making them more important to me than Jesus? Have I gained what I own honestly? Am I willing to depend completely on God for what I truly need? For the times I've put my faith in idols, Lord, have mercy.
The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
The Roman soldiers could have tied Jesus to the cross, but instead they nail his hands and feet. With hardened hearts, they give little thought to their cruelty.
Have I grown callous to others in my speech and actions? Have I come to accept human cruelty, no longer even being outraged by torture and murder? Do I engage in gossip about the misfortunes of others, or do I try to be a healing presence in the midst of tragedy? For my part in spreading sin, Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy. The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Jesus hangs lifeless on the cross, having poured out the last of his vitality. He holds nothing back, counts nothing more important than experiencing fully the limits of human nature, the human nature he shares with us.
Do I appreciate the life God has given me? Or do I grow bitter with envy as I think about the possessions and relationships other people have? Can I see areas in my life where I hold back from God? Can I ask for God's help to give my whole being to serve the Creator's will? For my stubbornness, Lord, have mercy.
The 13th station, Jesus is taken down from the cross. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
Stunned by all they have witnessed, the disciples take Jesus' lifeless body down from the cross. They might no longer be subject to to violation or scorn.
Have I honoured my promises and commitments? Have I done my share to uphold human dignity even when it is unpopular to do so? Do I value all human life, regardless of age, sex, race, or other qualities? For my blindness, Lord, have mercy.
The 14th station, Jesus is buried in the tomb. We adore you, O Christ, and we bless you.
Because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.
With the stone rolled across the tomb opening, all is silent, finished. Those who conspired against Jesus think they have won the day. His disciples think all is lost.
Do I call upon God in the worst of times and offer thanks in the best? Have I let Jesus into my heart? Have I let him into my actions, practicing works of justice and mercy? Am I willing to hope even when everything seems to be lost? For my hardness of heart, Lord, have mercy.